Oh, yeah.
Well, hello there, everyone. It's October 19th, and we're going to kick things off here today on Sports Chat with
Or
some...
Or we could defer.
What do you mean, defer?
We always kick off. If we won the coin toss, we could defer.
Okay, this is... I mean, I appreciate the reference. I like it. It's funny. But,
Thank you.
This is a show, not a football game.
It's a sports show. You did say that. You said, I put a wig on, you yelled at me. You said sports show. It's a sports show. Ergo, deference.
All right, well, I'll accept that one because, at least you're finally referencing that we're on a sports show. That's, baby steps, positive steps
So let's defer.
in the right direction.
We'll let them decide.
No. We'll just go. I'll just go ahead.
Hey,
The Red Sox. Apparently the clubhouse has turned into an AA meeting.
that reminds me.
Oh God, this better be good.
Drink up.
We can't drink on the show. What are you doing? You can't do that. What? Stop. Oh my God, this is unreal. No, stop it. Stop. We can't drink on the show.
Why?
Just because the Red Sox drank doesn't mean we have to drink.
No, I need to drink.
That could be an issue. That could be a personal problem that we won't address on here today, but we will address at some point.
I've been drunk for every show we've done so far. What's the difference if I drink before or during?
Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna put mine down here and
Did you finish
just
it?
let it. I'm just gonna let it sit. I'm gonna let that one sit. All right. Not even mad. That was kind of impressive.
Thank you.
Well,
Now I'm ready to start the show.
all right.
Actually, I got a call.
A call.
I have to call. We're getting fried chicken delivered. You down?
No, we're not getting fried chicken delivered.
It's simple call.
Are you just trying to follow what the Red Sox did? Did you just see what they did and you want to do it?
No.
I think you just lied to me.
No, I just want to be drunk and eat fried chicken.
Well,
Maybe they gave me the idea.
all right. Well,
I'm drunk.
okay. Let's just get into things here now, okay? Everyone likes to have a drink now and then, especially watching the game, right? But
What
when
game?
it's the player... This is just not going as well as I thought it was going to go.
I knew we should have deferred.
Probably. Can we start now? Do you mind?
I swore we started like 20 minutes ago.
It wasn't 20. That's an exaggeration. At
Would
best.
you go, please? Waiting for my turn.
All right. Well, as I was going to say, we all know about the Red Sox and what happened with them. So, who doesn't love to have a drink while they're watching the game? Have
I
a
do.
beer or two. But,
6.
if it's the players, not so great.
You're right.
So, as we all know, the Red Sox had some drinking problems, some issues going on in the clubhouse that people didn't really support. They didn't want them drinking in the clubhouse, but our good old pals,
Yeah.
John Lackey, John Lester,
See,
and Josh Beckett
here's the
were
thing.
drinking.
Let me make a point here. Let me actually make
Give me a point. Give me a point.
Here we go.
What do you got?
The Red Sox are a professional baseball team.
This they are.
We are on a sucky show.
I wouldn't call it that.
Okay.
I think it's
this half of the desk is on a sucky show. You do your thing. What I do over here, I can be drunk and I can still do it. If I want to drink and eat fried chicken, I can probably still do this.
True, but see
Maybe
the
not
problem
you.
is
The problem is the Red Sox are a professional baseball team. They cannot be drunk and still do that.
you're right.
Plus, take a look at those guys. So out of shape. If you want to get in shape,
I think Lackey has the body of a god. If God were extremely fat and overweight.
yes, which he's not.
Well, you don't know that.
Yeah, right. You see Jesus?
Well, that's just because, you know, he lived at
He
a
was
time.
cut.
All right.
He did a lot of squats.
I heard he did Pilates.
He probably did yoga.
No, I don't think yoga was around.
Regardless, Jesus was in great shape. The
Whatever.
Red Sox were not. And they weren't helping by drinking beer and eating fried chicken in the dugout.
No,
Not how you get in shape.
no. But our good old Red Sox pals have been addressing the situation. John Lester came out and said that they were in fact drinking. They had a couple of rally beers, as he called it. But Jason Varitek wasn't too keen on everyone letting the cat out of the bag, so to speak.
Why would he be?
Well, this is what he had to say regarding the issue. Jason Varitek came out and said, you can't have 25 guys around each other for 6 to 8 months and not have trouble. Things have happened. We took care of them internally. All of a sudden, we don't perform, and these things are brought about by an unnamed source. Shame on them. If it's a player, a trainer, a coach, a manager, ownership, shame on you.
Okay, let's review. Jason Varitek comes out at first and he says you can't have 25 guys around each other for 6 to 8 months and not have problems. I can agree with that.
Certainly.
If you stuck me in
It's like a family.
If you stuck me in
Families
24
fight.
other guys in you know, or made us room together, whatever, for 6 to 8 months, sure we'd have problems. That's fine.
Exactly.
I can agree with that part. And he goes on to say things have happened. We took care of them internally. Did you take care of them internally? Did you? Because
I don't think so.
that's not really how it seemed to turn out, if you ask me. Yeah. So we took care of them internally. Sure you did. All of a sudden we don't perform. All of a sudden you didn't perform for an entire month. There were maybe 2 people on that team performing for the month of September. That's not really
You're right.
all of a sudden. Yeah, I don't think so. And things get brought about by an unnamed source. Well, thank God they did. Somebody needed to bring those things about. Honestly,
Kind of on a trip.
I'm drunk.
I'm choking on my beer.
Rookie.
Sorry. I just can't. I can't go about it like they do.
You just can't hang.
Anyways,
Good thing you're not on the Red Sox.
moving on.
Please.
Varitek wasn't the only one.
You all right over there?
He wasn't the only one who came out to speak.
You're right, he wasn't. Josh
Who else
Beckett. Josh Beckett also had some comments. And what Josh Beckett had to say was, I cannot let this allegation go without response. Enough is enough. I admit that I made mistakes along the way this season, but this has gone too far. To say that we drank in the dugout during the game is not true. Okay.
Well,
Someone's lying.
and I'm going to go as far as to say it might be Josh Beckett.
You know, I'm going to agree with you. Because when you have 2 guys, and one of
Right.
them's admitting, yeah, we might have drank in the dugout. Why would you lie about that? Why would he come out and go, you know what, it's not true, but I'm going to let the media and the fans know, yeah, we were drinking in the dugout.
Right.
He's just having some fun. Beckett comes out and tells the truth? I don't think so.
No.
Pretty sure Beckett's the one not telling the truth here.
And, I mean, Beckett's never really been someone I imagined as Honest Abe.
No,
As a sweet character that would,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
be sweet.
Yeah, I mean, if I wanted to trust somebody, it'd definitely be him.
Yeah. But, you know, it's a big problem. But, whatever.
Drink up. They did.
Maybe it helps. Hopefully we won't collapse.
It's too late for that.
Well, anyways, let's move on to
Let's move on to some good
the
news.
good story
Some
in
news that doesn't make me want to drink.
the area.
Except in a celebratory fashion.
fact.
The Patriots.
That is a fact.
Patriots have gone through 6
That
weeks.
is a true fact. Go on. I'm sorry.
The Patriots, at this point, have gone through 6 weeks of the NFL season.
Mm-hmm.
They have won 5 games and lost 1 game.
Not bad.
No, they're tied for
good.
the 2nd best record in the NFL.
Fact.
Cannot argue with that.
That is a fact.
Did lose to the Buffalo Bills, but at this point, Buffalo's lost now too, so we're right back in it. Everything is going the
On
Patriots'
top of
way.
the division.
Just last week, week 6, we played the Dallas Cowboys, and big story going into it. Dallas defensive coordinator, Rex Ryan's twin brother there,
Robbie
Robbie
Ryan.
Thank you.
By the way, I don't like that. I don't like when people have twins and give them first names that have the same first letter.
I don't like when people have twins.
That's also true. Because then there's too many of the same person.
It's just creepy.
You're right.
So, creepy Rob
Especially
Ryan.
when they're fat like the Ryans.
Yeah.
But we're
Imagine
getting off,
how much
we're getting off track.
Right.
Let's
so,
get back on track.
Creepy Rob Ryan was the defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. He was the only defensive coordinator in the last I believe it was 15, 16 games, something like that,
Maybe.
to hold the Patriots to less than 30 points. Happened last year when the Patriots played the Cleveland Browns.
That was ugly.
He was the defensive coordinator
ugly.
there. Oh, it was. It was an ugly game. And so coming into this game with the Dallas Cowboys, everyone thought he might be able to do it again.
Right.
Turns out he could. Patriots did not score 30 points for the first time in about 15 games.
Yep.
And it wasn't enough for the Dallas Cowboys because we still came out on top, getting our 5th win of the season. Patriots are now 5-1. And if we're going to talk about how good the Patriots are, we need to talk about their offense.
Yep.
We need to ignore
Sure
their,
do.
Need to ignore their defense, but we need to talk about their offense.
We'll
Their
talk about their
offense-
defense later.
I'd rather not unless we've got some
Well,
more
we
beer
have to.
under the table.
I do.
Good. So, Patriots offense, 30.8 points per game. That's their average.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
They score a few points. Whatever.
They also average 475 yards per game.
Wow.
That's 25 less than 500.
That's a lot of yards.
That's the best in the NFL is what that is.
Oh.
Gets how many yards per play?
I don't know. Off the top of my head, I'm going to say like 6.9.
Yes.
Really?
6.9 yards per play.
Really?
It means it takes them 2 plays.
So what
on
you're telling
average.
me is my guess was right?
Your guess was exactly what it says that you read off your paper.
I didn't read it.
Then yes,
All right.
you're a psychic. 6.9 yards per play. That means it takes them, on average, less than 2 plays, but obviously you can't have a play and a half. So 2 plays to get a first down. Best in the NFL.
Not bad.
Also, Wes Welker and Brady,
Batman and Robin.
the Flash and whoever the Flash had helping them,
Sonny and Cher.
Bat-
Siskel and Ebert.
Cisco and the Thong Song.
Mm-hmm.
Best in the NFL.
That's all I got. I can't think of any other.
Johnny Appleseed and his Appleseeds.
That one doesn't necessarily apply.
Actually, I think it worked perfect.
Eh,
Johnny Appleseed was the brains behind everything that was going on.
Tom Brady.
Calling the plays, planting the apple seeds.
And that makes Wes Welker a apple tree. Seed
Yes.
tree. Apple.
Wes Welker's the apple tree. Tom Brady planting the seeds is like him throwing the ball.
Sometimes the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
And sometimes it does.
We're getting off topic again.
What were we talking about?
About how Tom Brady and Wes Welker have been dominating the NFL.
Hey, absolutely.
Brady leads the league in passing yards. And the smallest receiver, little Wes Welker, go figure. He's not that fast, and he's certainly not that big, but he leads the league in catches, and he leads in receiving yards, and he's second in receiving touchdowns. Yeah.
Is that off the top of your head?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. He's second in the league in touchdowns.
Anyway, the point we're trying to get to is that the Patriots are good.
Are they great yet?
No.
No.
And the reason is defense.
Their defense.
Their offense is great. Their offense is phenomenal, and I don't use that word lightly. Their offense
is outstanding.
It's outrageous,
Marvelous.
stupendous.
Fantastical. It is a word. I made it up. I coined it.
Is that from your Webster's dictionary?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good dictionary.
It is. But
So,
they have been remarkable. The defense has not.
right. So anyway, Patriots this week, week 7, heading into a bye week. So nothing to worry about this weekend. Patriots practice a few times this week, gonna have the weekend off, and they'll get back to it.
But some good news.
Very good news, if you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking.
Am I thinking the same thing you're thinking?
Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Kevin Falk is back.
Wow.
I said his back, so.
Well,
yeah.
I was talking about the whole Kevin Falk, not just his back.
Oh. All right.
All right.
But Kevin Falk will return.
He will.
He's practicing, and hopefully, when they come out of the bye week, he'll be on the field.
Yep.
Now let's jump ahead. The Bruins. They raised the banner, closed the door on last season.
Did they?
They did. They closed the door on it. They raised the banner, they closed the door on
They
it.
might have left the door open a little.
But see, the problem here is this year hasn't started with the same glitz and glamour that last year ended with. They've
You're right.
straight up just been struggling.
Straight up.
Now tell me.
Are you really going to love me forever?
Oh.
Or is this just a hit and run?
Hit and run.
It's fair.
And right now, it seems like the Bruins have been hit, and that's about it.
Yeah.
They are certainly not playing well. They've only won 2 games out of the 6 they've played, and they only have 4 points, which is not championship-like.
No.
And what's part of the problem? Well, first of all, part of the problem is the power play. Yet again, go figure.
Well, I mean, we can't really sit here and complain about that.
Right. I mean, they did win a Stanley Cup with
Yeah.
one of the worst power plays. And the Bruins offense in general is just
Stagnant.
bad. They're last in goals per game.
They're stagnant.
Dead last. It just has not been good.
Egregious.
But, you know, lots of people were critical of Claude Julien last year of not switching up the lines, which he's going to do now.
Yeah.
He's already starting. Maybe it's a little early. Maybe it's kind of a panic move. I don't know. But he's switching up the lines and trying to spark something.
It's a good thing, if you ask me.
So the lines now will
Go
look
ahead.
as such. Milan Lucic, and Chris Kelly, and Tyler Seguin will be on the first line. And Nathan Horton's going to jump back down to the second line with Brad Marchand and Patrice Bergeron. And, you know, I kind of like it. I like seeing Chris Kelly and Tyler Seguin on that first line, maybe add some quickness and, you know, mix up the power forwards of Milan Lucic and Nathan Horton.
Yeah.
And throw some speed in the middle there. I kind of like it.
I don't know if I like it as much as you do. I mean,
Why?
I have a legitimate reason. No, I'm not about to make a stupid
Well-
joke. I think Bergeron should be on the first line. That's what I think.
All right. I guess I can take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that to the bank.
Take it with a grain of salt.
But one way or another, I don't have too many problems with it.
I
But-
can agree with that.
One thing I just really want to stress is the fact that it's the beginning of the season. Last year,
Yeah.
the Bruins were up and down and up and down and up and down all season, and then what happened? They won the Stanley Cup, so it's really no
Yeah,
big deal.
two ways to look at what's going on there. Either A, it's too early to panic, so Claude
Right.
Julien shouldn't be making these changes yet, or B, it's a perfect time to make the changes. It's early in the season, still plenty of time to figure
Right.
stuff out, so why not go ahead and see what works, what doesn't work, and go from there.
Well, one way or another, we'll find out soon enough. It's
Panic-
not how you start, it's how
No.
you finish.
I mean, panic meter on 2.
Like we learned with the Red Sox, it's not how you start, because they started bad. It's how you finish. They finished worse.
Maybe it is how you start. They finished a lot like how they started.
Yeah, but they finished bad, too. If they finished good, all set.
Okay. I can get on board with
Moving along, let's get in the chat room.
that. Ooh,
And something you love, drinking problems.
I do love drinking problems.
And the Red Sox had one, apparently all season long, according to John Lester and some other folks. But we wanted to ask you guys if that was part of the problem. How much of a problem was it? And our good old pal Bill on Facebook told us, I don't usually go to work and start drinking. I'd be useless if I did. Just like those three were in September. Whoo! Hot dang!
Clearly, Bill.
Bill just, bam, boom, bang, pow.
He did.
Just took a shot right at all three of them.
Clearly, Bill's job is a lot more trying than ours.
Yes.
Because,
Oh, yes.
I mean, I'm drunk right now.
But that's not a problem.
No, we're doing fine.
I mean, it is a bit of a problem, but it's not a problem.
well, it's a problem because I can't stop. But
Yeah. Moving on, though. He's right. They
Yeah.
were terrible in September. I couldn't even begin to tell you how bad they were in September.
yeah,
And, I mean,
literally had the worst September of any baseball team ever.
and
That's not an exaggeration, by the way.
Yeah,
They
it's
literally
fact.
had the worst September of any professional baseball team ever.
And, you know, I think the Braves are probably sitting somewhere laughing because they would have had the worst September ever if it hadn't been for the Boston Red Sox.
But at least we beat the Braves out for that.
Yep. We beat someone for something.
It's good.
That's something to say.
That is the only thing we won in
But
September.
the one thing that I just want to have said about this entire situation is all these players, these pitchers are coming out and saying, you know, we did it all season. We did it back when they won the World Series, and then it was a team with character.
Yeah.
Well, the thing to me is, fine, you were winning. You're a team with character. Great, you were winning, and you were doing that, still winning. It wasn't a factor. But when it comes down to it, and you've been struggling, and you're still just going about it, and kind of looking at it in a nonchalant way, and not buckling down and getting more serious, I think that's where the problem is.
I'm with you on this one. If you're doing this, you're drinking and you're eating fried chicken
Right.
and whatever's going on in the clubhouse, if you're winning, then nobody's going to have a problem with it. There might be some people out there who
Right.
look down on you, but that's how the team's built. That's the character of the team. And if
Right.
it works, it works. Whatever works, go with it. Clearly, this wasn't working,
Right.
and that's the problem.
Fact.
And that's why, the Red Sox are getting all upset because people are getting on them for this behavior. obviously somebody's going to get on them for their behavior because it didn't work. But I'm getting all worked up again.
It's all
We
right.
did this earlier.
They just
Sucked.
got a little out of hand and, yes,
Yes.
sucked.
Yes.
And that's all we can say about it. Theo's leaving town. Tito's out. It's going to be a tough I think we're going to see one real big offseason.
It's going to be...
Some heads are going to roll, and come spring training, there's going to be a lot that needs to be addressed.
There's a good possibility that this season coming up, next season, could be the most expensive rebuilding year ever.
Yep. For a team that, when you looked at them on paper, didn't need rebuilding.
No, not at all.
But now,
Hell,
maybe
you
they
could
do.
still look at this team on paper and think that...
Right. But that's another conversation for another day. Hit me
Let's-
with more Patriots.
I will. But can we make a deal?
Uh,
Unless something big comes up in the near future, can we put the Red Sox to bed? Can we put them to rest for now? Not talk about them on the next show?
you want to bury the Red Sox?
I think they did that themselves.
You want to bury the 2011 Red Sox? Because I'm all for it.
I'm ready to take a step ahead.
Deal.
All right.
Sorry about
All right. So, next on Facebook, on our chat room, we asked you, the fans, is the Patriots' defense improving?
that. Is it?
Well, on Facebook, Brad told us baby steps. They're a little better, but only a little. Maybe they're a little better.
I think statistically, not really.
No.
But the eye test tells you I think a big part of it is they're getting a little more aggressive, which is good.
Yeah,
which I like.
one thing you can lean on, and if you want to take it one game at a time, like the Patriots like to do, their last
Right.
game they gave up 16 points.
Right.
But on
To a
that-
team that can potentially be pretty explosive.
true, but on that same note, I think the Dallas Cowboys beat themselves.
Yeah.
I don't think the Patriots defense came out and
A big part
pounded
of that is-
the Dallas Cowboys. It was a defensive game,
Yeah.
and the Patriots won a defensive game, which is great. And so that leans
Kudos
me
to them.
leans me toward the maybe
Right.
they are starting to improve. But I feel like if the Cowboys had wanted to, if they had game planned correctly, if they trusted their quarterback, they could have put up enough points to beat us last Sunday.
And consider you're missing Gerard Mayo and
Right.
other factors.
But hey,
but
a win's a win's a win. The Patriots defense let up 16 points last week, and you're only as good as your last week's game. So maybe they're starting to improve.
let's hope so.
I certainly
Because
hope
that's I'm telling you, that's the key to their success.
so. Right. And
The defense will drive the car to the Super Bowl.
right. And just to touch on the statistical side of this, the Patriots right now 14th in the NFL in points allowed per game,
Which isn't an improvement.
It's
That's
they're in the
probably
top 50%.
That's probably one of the only improvements we
It
can
is.
see with them.
Yeah, because they're still in dead last place for yards allowed,
Yeah.
which speaks to the fact that they're making turnovers.
Yeah.
They're getting the ball back.
Bend but don't break,
Yeah,
essentially.
worries me a little bit though, because watching the Patriots, you take a look at probably half, if not more, of the turnovers have not exactly been caused by the Patriots. It's been mistakes by the
Yes.
other offense. And you take what you can get, and I'm not going to knock their turnovers because they're doing okay in that category, but tipped balls that turn into interceptions, people fumbling without anybody even getting a hand on the ball. At this point, I'm still worried. Optimistically worried,
But worried.
but I still
Cautious.
I don't
I'd call
see
it.
the Patriots going all the way with the defense performing as it has so far this season.
Right.
That's my point.
All right. Well, hopefully Brad's right and they're improving.
Hey, there's still time.
Now,
Yes.
let's revisit a conversation we had before regarding Albert Hainsworth and Ocho Cinco.
Who?
Albert Hainsworth and Ocho Cinco.
Um,
Well, our buddy Tom on Facebook didn't know who they were either. When we asked what of Albert Hainsworth and Ocho Cinco's progress,
Look what he said.
Tom on Facebook said, who?
Good. Now I don't feel so bad.
Because honestly, statistically, they haven't done much. Ocho Cinco, in his defense, hasn't been on the field for a lot of plays. And, I mean, that in and of itself could be a problem because clearly he's not picking things up
Right.
and he's not on the same page
Let's-
with his quarterback.
You know what? Hainsworth has 2 tackles.
Yeah.
Let's just put him on the back burner. I don't even want to talk about that because he can't get away from the injury bug.
That's true.
He's not on the field enough, and I don't think he probably will make an impact this season. That's my opinion.
I think when he is on the field, he makes
He
an
can-
impact in the sense of
he clogs up
he's
some
a
holes.
body and he's going
a
to clog
big
up
guy.
holes, and you have to account for him, which helps out Vince Wilfork.
Right. No, I agree with
But
that.
but he hasn't been on the field that much.
No. And no attitude problems from him yet,
No.
which is
He
more than I
actually-
expected.
And he also came out and said that he needs to play better, and he's disappointed in his own performance, which is a good sign personality-wise from Albert Hainsworth.
But he just needs to
But-
get back on the field. Now let's talk about Ocho. I actually am one of the few who have a positive attitude about what's been going on with Ocho Cinco.
Right.
And I don't have a positive attitude about how long it's apparently taking him to pick up this offense.
Mm-hmm.
He must be a little dumb. But
Hey, if Gronkowski can pick it up, Ocho
That's-
Cinco can.
that's
I think
what I'm saying.
A rat could pick it up.
right. And I mean Ocho no longer has the excuse of, well, he's the new guy on the team because he's been here for 3-4 months now.
Yeah.
The man needs to have the offense down. It is a complicated offense. He needs to do better with it. But
Yeah.
the positive that I take away from this is the man has 9 catches for 136 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And a good handful of those catches have been for first downs. They've moved the chains.
Yeah.
So if that's going to be his role with us, if he's going to come in and catch 1 or 2 balls a game and move the chains, then that's his role. I don't see a problem with that because it's not like the offense can't perform without him.
Well, that's true. It is true.
That's
and they are fine without him.
Right. I wasn't done. The last part of my point, it's good to have somebody like that on the bench
Right.
who, at any given time, we know has the talent to come in and explode for a 100-yard game with 2-3 touchdowns.
Right.
So, yeah, he probably should be performing more. But if the offense is getting along without him, I don't see a problem with it.
Right. I'm not. I don't have a problem with his lack of productivity, but I mean the only thing that I'm kind of weary of is maybe he just doesn't have it anymore. Maybe he's older. He's dropped a couple of balls, and all through training camp, that was the problem, is that he was dropping a lot of balls. He's dropped some in games. He's not picking it up. He's not running routes well. He's caused a couple of interceptions for Tom Brady because he
true.
wasn't running routes well. And that was his game. He was a precise route runner. He ran his routes well and hard and strong. And, I mean, he was never a burn guy. He was never anything like that. He was someone who ran his routes, and he was kind of a possession receiver. And right now he's not being that.
There's really only one way to get an accurate perspective on him. So let me take care of that. To get an accurate perspective on how Ocho
That's not
Cinco has been
happening.
doing.
And first of all, that's a bowl.
This is a pumpkin hat. So
It's a bowl.
we're going to ask the pumpkin
It's for
hat.
Halloween candy.
It's for my head. We're
It's
going to
for
ask
Halloween
the
candy.
pumpkin hat, what is Ocho Cinco's progress going to be for the...
We're not going to keep doing this. It's not going to happen. Moving on. We're going to move on. We're just going to completely void this topic, and we're going to move on. Finally, what we asked in our chat room was, what's the Bruins' problem? And don't focus on it. Just what's the Bruins' problem?
Okay.
And Sean on Facebook said, what did Sean on Facebook have to say as to what the Bruins' problem was?
He said maybe they're still drinking out of the cup in the locker room during the intermission.
You seem angry.
I am. To answer this question, what's the Bruins' problem?
Nope.
We have
Nope.
the glove of grievances.
Why do you have now it's not even a hat. All right.
The hats are too easy for you to hit off my head. So, glove of grievances, what is the Bruins' problem? The glove doesn't work. I need hats.
All right. Well, that's good.
So you're okay with the hats?
I just don't want anything to do with the rest
I'm
of this.
glad to hear that.
I think maybe he's right. Maybe they are drinking out of the cup. Whatever. I don't even care right now. You've ruined the show with your drinking, your hats, everything else.
That's really
Now I
mean.
need it. That's how it goes.
I am hurt
Anyways,
and offended.
yeah, we want to thank you guys, and you know where you can reach us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. All our videos are up on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube at WA Sports Chat. Just search WA Sports Chat. You'll find us. On Facebook, just search Sports Chat with the A with the @ sign. And you can reach us on our own personal Twitters, at Brian Mahler, Brian_Mahler, and at RJ Pomerlow. And you can find us there, so that's how it goes, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And if you're not down with that,
We've got 2 words for you.
Sports Chat.
What? Why are you so upset?
I'm not happy. I miss my hats.
Whatever.